Well, it's interesting. So first of all, it was so interesting having someone who has a lot of kind of digital experience and speak kind of in the language of digital at a conference, I think, where a lot of people don't speak in that language. And it was good setup, I think, for me to ask you the what is currency versus what is measurement question first, Celeste. So can you unpack that? Like, how do you think of a thing called currency versus like an action called measurement?
So the way I would describe it, or just like kind of explain it, is that I'm looking for exposure and frequency of an observable ad to a consumer.
Okay.
Right? And that's part of the measurement. Then measurement also goes into for content creators, like how programs are performing, and time of day, and then I'm also looking at the size of audiences and compositions. So all of that comes into measurement for me. And then the transacting pieces, we decide on what the value of a unit is, and then that's how we decide to transact on it. I think, over the past year of going through this exercise of vetting the efficacy of new measurement partners, is that they are trying to decide how we transact on it, and it should be between the buyers and the sellers.
Okay, so in other words, right, okay, so Radha's clapping, which is great, because we have a buyer and a seller who are clapping for one another. Yay, it's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. So what I heard you say is measurement first, then currency.
Correct,
okay.
Right. So if we can get the count right and audience size and composition, then we can start transacting on it. I do believe that there are gaping holes in some of the measurement that we've seen over the past year, specifically around out of home, over the air, syndication, and particularly multicultural. A lot of that over the air space contains a large population of multicultural audiences that are heavy content consumers. Yeah. And we're missing out on that.
They're getting missed.
Yeah, we're getting missed.
Okay. I want to, she's clapping again. I like when Radha claps. So we all like when Radha claps. So I want to come back to that, but first I think, there's this, this sort of trend of the programmers aligning to providers, and they pay them. So I suppose I get it, right? But what does that mean for you? How does that work for you as a buyer when you've got like NBC Universal aligning to, I'm gonna get it wrong, I'm sorry guys at NBC Universal. Let's pretend it's iSpot, and another one aligning to another Samba or whatever, Comscore. What does that do for you?
It becomes to me murky, right? We've heard that word a lot, and I think that sometimes, I was always told you don't swim in murky waters, but I think we have to, because these providers offer really great data. I just, when publishers align themselves with a measurement company. I don't think it's a horrible thing. I just think that the way it was done last year was, it wasn't vetted before they aligned themselves, and we really needed to sort through the data a little bit more, and I think in order for us to even transact on it, you have to have the buy-in from the sell side.
So how are you doing that? How are you sort of approaching making sense of these different providers that are being sort of brought forth by these different partners?
So I think what they've done right for this coming upfront is advanced audiences like that. I think that was really a strategic move on part of publishers and the buy side, where that was low-hanging fruit that we can really target, and we have that flexibility of activating off of advanced audiences. I think where we're having trouble with is our traditional demos, and for our agency, we have a lot of clients that really love legacy measurement for the traditional demos that they can scale at, and now we just have to find a way of really delivering those demos and making sure that the data is transparent.
So what do you mean by having trouble with the traditional demo? Can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, so the big data is households with or presence of, where we have the collaboration of a person panel, so that personification, and I think we're trying to get there. Legacy is gone, right? So that's, no matter what we do for this next upfront, it's that way of buying is over. So we really need to focus on how do we get to personification in a more transparent way.
In these new ways.
In these
So
new
literally
ways.
like deep end of pool
Exactly.
in
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So how are you preparing for that? Like what's happening now?
What's
you know?
happening now?
Yeah.
It's really pushing the measurement partners to really provide and enhance. I mean, we've seen over the last few weeks a lot of announcements where they're enhancing that data. So a year ago when we started this testing, the data is completely different than what we're looking at right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and it's
So
been
massive
enhanced.
improvement.
Yeah, massive improvements.
Okay.
So I think we'll get there. We just, it may take most of this year to get there.
Okay. And how much inconsistency is there across providers in what you see?
Oh, there's inconsistency, but it's not as vast as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah, that is.
Yay.
Good. But there's still, there's just still some holes. I think you'll use one provider for strategic audiences. You'll use another provider for broad demos. It'll just take some time before it's all
Okay.
fleshed out.
Okay, so then how long does it take would you feel like it would take to go from we're in the measurement phase to the we're ready to transact on this?
We're transacting.
Yeah, okay. Whether you're ready or not?
Yeah, and I think for most holding companies, they've already been transacting on all currencies over the last few years. We are, my Dentsu is really invested in the attention space. I feel like
Totally.
the Uber
Mark from Uber,
Mark from Uber really brought that home, that you're looking at outcomes and how do we measure that connection that consumers are having with you.
Well, it's so funny because it's still, and this is such a digital thing, so forgive me, but it's still like, if measurement means did it deliver, that's different than measurement meaning how did it perform. And that's like, I feel like I've been saying this for like a billion years and I'm not the only one. But I still feel like there's that happening, that kind of, I don't know if it's tension or like unspoken, like disconnect between like
it's
did it
trying to
deliver
collide.
and did it perform?
Yeah, I think the marriage between the two.
That's right. It doesn't have to be only one,
Right.
and it doesn't have to be only the other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Are clients prepared for that, do you think, in the world of television?
Yes, I think I do think that clients do, they set aside budgets for, these testing opportunities and guaranteed opportunities. I really think that they are on board. I just think that we can't continually go to them with murky numbers and data sets.
Right.
So I think the more transparent we can be in our deliverables, the easier it is for them to lean in. For me, I found it pretty easy for folks to lean in the past year on testing.
I mean, that's incredibly encouraging, I would say, because I don't think that has been the case in the past. Cool. Well, I want to end there because that makes me feel good.
Oh, good.
Yay. Progress. Thank you so much, Celeste. I appreciate it.